Okay, so now comes the fun. We went through the whole account, sort of broke down what all the pieces are on the inside of this account so that we can understand what's going on here and how to top off credits. So if you run out of credits and you don't feel like it's time for you to upgrade, then you can just simply pick up more credits as you go. It's a piece of cake. And so we've gone through all the stuff. Let's go ahead and create a chat bot. So I'm going to create a chat bot for a particular company. It's going to be this one here, plasticcards.tv. And so I'm just going to create my chat bot for this website right here, okay? And it's going to cover all the pages of the website, and it's going to be available down here for anybody, right? One thing I like about creating assistants is that you can edit them in place very easily. All right, check this out, okay? I've got a name for my assistant. By the way, you don't need to use a name. Sorry, that's kind of an upgraded version. So I'm giving a name to my assistant. Don't ask me where I came up with it. Kind of got it from GPT. Now, I'm going to assign her to this website here. Like I said, you can actually assign an assistant to more than one website as long as it doesn't matter which website the assistant's on. If it's working on several, but it's a common purpose, then no problem at all. All right, instructions. Now, I wrote down a bunch of instructions, okay, and it stops right here. I wrote it down, and if you think that's kind of a lot of writing, let me just say this. If I actually hired a live chat agent, I would kind of have to tell it the same thing. Here's who you need to be, right? Here is the company you need to work for. The most important things to remember who to contact. Sales at plasticcards.tv or by phone at either this number, that number, whatever. And by this number. Let me just make it one number for simplicity. Okay. Now, for the backstory, I just kind of break down a little bit of detail about the company. What kind of a company are we? I mean, you know what it is and the phone number and the email, but who are we, right? And then I just give it some basic notes, right? For the files I trained you with, check the wording in the URLs. If somebody asks you for something and you don't have it, but you scan the URLs and you see the page slug wording, suggest it as related reading if you know they're asking about that. Now that's funny because it sounds like I'm not going to train my bot very well. Reality check is that's kind of outdated because when you see how we train our bot, there won't even be any need for that. Beyond that, when people ask about types of cards or printers we carry, it's good to explain, both explain and give them the appropriate link to the appropriate quote form, since that's an excellent call to action. So when people say, tell me about your cards, or what kind of blank plastic cards you have, or what kind of card printers do you carry, and what kind of accessories do you have for them, it can talk about it and it can give them a link to the quote form right then and there in the chat. Okay, so I mentioned the links up here. I got the links for the quotes, the links for the printers. Okay, now when people ask about the types of cards or printers, I've been watching your response. I put in some follow-up note. I've been watching your responses with the users. Please try to shorten your responses a bit, but maintain the informal, jovial, and helpful chat. Okay. So it was kind of giving really detailed answers, and so I told it, nah, shorter will do better. All right, and then also that'll save me some money on conversations, right? If it's coming out of my pocket per word, but it doesn't need to give lengthy responses. Okay, treat everyone as a prospect or a potential client unless they state differently. If you're getting asked questions about things that do not relate to the business at hand, gently know that you're sorry, but you can only answer questions about user needs pertaining to the website, right? Now, that's pretty good for the base instructions. It's different than the files we're going to upload. But just to give it sort of an understanding, I even put in here somewhere, use their name on occasion if you happen to know it, you know, if they brought it up. Now, this is just another chatbot. It's got the same instructions, but I made it a little different. I made it kind of a manager. I gave it the rights to give out a coupon code for 10% off and told it, you know, to give it out when or if it seems sensible during the conversation. So that's my more empathetic manager type of chatbot. The whole point is you can make these things different for every situation. You can make ones for lawyers and just make them more serious, right? Not jovial, but more serious. But then you could do one for car salesmen. I'm trying to cover both ends of the spectrum here. So anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? How hard is it to train? Okay, Mindy Briers for that website. I'm going to paste in her instructions off my file. See, that was that whole thing about the instructions here. I'm going to go ahead and submit. Okay, so I now have an agent. I can look at the chats that we've had already, which so far is none. Okay, and I can go back to my chat bots and I can manage it or delete it, right? And then I could create a new one if I wanted to start my other chat agent. But let me go ahead and manage the one I got. So first, the details. There's the name, there's the domain. Very simple. Don't put anything else in there. No https://www. Don't put any trailing slashes. You know, if you paste your domain in there, delete that stuff, right? Get that out of there. Just have the naked URL. Okay? Now, the instructions. There it is. That's what I taught her about the business so far and what she needs to know and what her role is. When you train live chat specialists, you really detail it out. Okay? Get a load of this. Yeah, you'll be a live chat specialist working for this website to help website browsers get answers to their current questions. Be polite and represent a white female, age 25, from the Bay Area in California. Have some good energy and feel free to speak a bit freely with the intention of being friendly and helpful to those asking for your help. But try not to ramble too much. Those who ask questions are hoping for direct answers, coupled with some politeness and just a little light fun. Address the visitor by name occasionally if you've discovered their name. Here's information for what you will answer, questions about on the site. And that's this, right? Okay, isn't that neat? You actually describe the personality type and everything else. For those of you that just want your bot to look and act like an AI bot, decide how you want its tone to be. You don't need to make it a white female, age 25 from the Bay Area in California with a bachelor's degree in communications. You don't need to do that, okay? I just did, but you can make yours any way you want. All right. Now, the cool thing is, as I go working with my bot, check this out. Here's my bot. So far, so good, right? And I can close it and open it and keep working on it and see how it evolves before I go pasting the code onto another site. Okay? And it'll operate the same here as on the other site. Now, web scraping. Okay? I could add independent URLs, and it's giving the example with the HTTPS. So yeah, use that, right? Use whatever the example shows you. And I could delete, but I could add another and another and another. Why would I do that? Maybe I want it trained on the top pages of the website. I want it to know, obviously, the index page. That's good enough. I could have just put the home page. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to open some of these pages in new tabs. Just open link in new tab. Let's assume that the most important pages are the ones on the top menu, right? And so I'm just showing you how you do it one link at a time. Guess what? We have a better way to do it where you can just give it the sitemap. And when you see it, it's cool. I'll show you that. All right. And that. Okay. And then delete that bottom one there. Boom. Okay. Sorry about all that. That's my own personal passkeeper. Okay. So I'm going to submit. All right. Here's what you need to know now. Each page, it's going to take about 25 seconds to parse all the data off the page. It does not just copy all the gobbledygook print from the page. It denotes everything. This is a tag. It's an H1 tag. What's contained is this. Here's another tag. It's an H2 tag. Here's a tag. It's a paragraph tag. This is an email. This is a phone number. Here's the email. Here's the phone number. This is a bullet point list. Here are the bullet points. This is the URL of that page. Okay, so it is grabbing everything and denoting it clearly so that the bot really can't mess it up, right? It's reading everything off the page. Check that out. It completed that and completed that in about the minute I was speaking, right? If you're working with your bot live in a case like this, it gets smarter and smarter as it learns more and more web pages from your site. Can you take a real live chat agent and teach it each web page off your site in 25 seconds? Like, this one. Memorize everything contained in this breakdown. All the FAQs and all the stuff I want you to just understand clearly. If anyone asks about any of this, you should basically have all of this, memorized and be able to answer them, not by quoting, but by just coming up with your own honest answers for how you would describe. Can you imagine that? Getting it once and never forgetting it, just knowing everything perfectly at this point, right? So that's just awesome. It's such a cool way to train a chatbot. Okay, look at that. It's got like 3 pages down. It's got 2 more to go. Let me keep going in the meantime. I want to show you more. See this? You know what's cool about this? Look at that. Again, no HTTPS, right? It's just got this, placeholder. Plasticcards.tv/sitemap.xml. The XML sitemap, not the HTML, okay? The XML. If you give it an XML file, it will learn up to 1,000 of the first pages it sees from that file, up to 1,000. So if you actually have more than 1,000 pages on your site, it will learn the first 1,000. Memorize it all. Know everything about it all. It won't go deeper than 1,000. Contact us if you need special requirements. But 1,000 pages, it will parse everything into the breakdown file with all the tags, with all the URLs, with all the emails and links and bullet points and everything, all the subtopics. It knows everything. Okay? You can ask it what color blank plastic cards you offered. It'll give the whole list, even if there isn't a list anywhere, but it's got all throughout. It can form that instantly. It can, if you ask it for the accessories, what kind of card printers do you carry? It knows. What kind of accessories do you carry for that printer? It knows. Which colors does it come in? It knows. If you added pricing details, how much do those cost? It knows. If you ask it what time it is, it knows. If you ask it what website it's on, it knows. Okay? And it can handle plenty of people all at the same time in all of their languages. So this isn't even a special cost or anything. This comes with your account. Sitemap scraping, put it in there, hit generate. By the way, it's going to take like 25 seconds a site. So it'll take like 8 hours and 20 minutes to learn your entire URL, or your entire website. You can close it. You can walk away. You can come back at night or tomorrow, okay, when it's done. Doesn't matter. And the whole time it's still learning your website, you can just test it, ask it questions, make refinements to its instructions, and it will just get better in real time. Okay? This works on any website, anywhere, for any industry. It can be WordPress. It can be Joomla. It can be Weebly. It can be Wix. Okay? Now, and if it doesn't work for something, let us know. We'll fix it. All right, files. You can add files. You can add PDF files, and it will learn them. And it will be able to tell people all about them or give them a link so that they can download it. Okay? You can upload a text file, doc, or docx, right? Or PDF. Or those of you who actually have JSON files, if you're that technical, you can upload JSON files. Okay? You can upload plenty of files, right? We were putting certain kinds of limits on stuff, and then finally our limit really became like 1,000 pages of a sitemap. Felt like a pretty good marker. Once it knows that, it knows about everything you need to know to talk to somebody live. All right, so you get that? Here's the next thing. We've actually been going through all this, right? Just to point out from the beginning. Name and domain, instructions for who it is. We did some web scraping of a few URLs manually. We can do a full-out sitemap scrape and walk away and let it complete. We can do our drag and drop files routine here. And by the way, I should refresh this page because see what it created for me? This is 0.1 megabyte of all the JSON information contained in those files I had it learn. Look at how organized this is. I just want you to see how clear. There's a URL. It is the main page. There's the tag. It's an H1. It's a text thing. Guidelines for this. Here's a tag. It's a paragraph. It's a text thing. Discover all of this. See the clarity? Tag H2 is a text, And then all this stuff in order from the top to the bottom. of those, what was it, like 5 pages that I gave it. It knows everything cleanly, right? It won't really mess anything up. Okay, so with that in mind, let me get back to the right size. We're just about, and so that's one file. I can upload a whole bunch more, okay? So it took all of those different web pages and formed one file out of it. If it does 1,000 pages, it'll form 1 or 2 files out of it, depending on the max file size. I think like 500 meg per file. Isn't that insane? All right, appearance. You get to choose what the welcome message is. You know why? Because right now what's it say? Hi, I'm here to help. Ask me anything. What if we put this on a funeral parlor website? We don't want it to speak that way. What if we put this on a DUI attorney website? Hi, I'm here to help. I mean, it's not quite the right fit, right? So, I mean, you can make this anything you want. This is not something you're charged to show to clients, okay? This is not word usage. This is just the thing popping open and recommending itself. And you can shut it, right? Now, the input placeholder down here, type a message. Same thing, you got control over it. Should it say type a message or something else, right? You get control over that. What else? See this? This is show the chatbot after a certain number of seconds. If you leave it set to 0, then it will never open itself. It will stay closed the entire time. But say somebody lands on a web page and they're spending some time there and they're surely engaging, you know, they're not leaving. And you just saw, hey, if you're going to be on the page that long, I at least want to let you know that I can answer some questions for you. So maybe I want it to open in like 5 seconds. Or maybe I think 5 is a little too short. Make it 8. Well, it doesn't have to be 8. It could be 18, right? I mean, I can decide this stuff. If they're on the page for 3 minutes, I can wait 180 seconds to open it. But just think smartly about all the different kinds of people land on the page and start to show interest in it and the fact that they're all at different levels. If this thing pops open in 18 seconds, they can always close it or ignore it simply. But there you go. It's nice to have it open after a certain amount of time, right? Let me make this like 5 seconds so it's easy to show you in truth. Okay, font family. Just choose a font, you know, and we'll probably add a bunch more later, but these are fine. You know, there's anything from Verdana to Comic Sans, Lucida, you know, Impact, Georgia. I mean, these are fine. So we'll add more later. Font size. Oh, by the way, like when you choose font size, a common one might be 14 or 16 or 18. Depends on how you want it to come off. And so just test it out, right? You'll be able to see as you're operating it. It's not saving these changes until I hit the next button. Every time you go through one of these, hit the next button. That's like enter, you know, for that piece, right? Now, what do I want to say? Avatar. Like we say, you can make it seem like an AI or seem like a human if you intentionally want it to seem like an AI. Like this is the Chat for Me logo, right? I would use that maybe as the avatar, right? Now the avatar is going to be real small on that chat window. That's this. This is the avatar. So I would really just want the logo without the words, right? And so I would either have that or make that, or you would have that on your website, some simple little logo, and you could put it in there. And let's say you're acme.com, right? Well, that could be your logo, and then it could say Acme Support, right? That would be the name you give it. You don't have to give it a human name, okay? By the way, if anyone asks it, it'll tell them it's an AI bot. It'll tell them, right? We're trying to make the experience feel human, not fake it. It's just supposed to feel human. So it's got a name that seems human. It pauses before it gives you the answer to seem human. We actually build it to delay a certain number of seconds for every certain number of words that it goes. So the longer the discussion, the longer it takes before it shows it. But not too long. It's actually moving really fast anyway. But it feels pretty human. Okay, but it doesn't make humans wait long enough to get bothered and impatient. Let's say you don't have anything to put there. I mean, I'm not sure about the browse file. Oh, that's browse your own files. Okay, never mind. Check this out. Add from default avatars. My chatbot is a girl, a white 25-year-old female is what I decide to make her. That could be Mindy. That could be Mindy. That could be Mindy, right? That could be Mindy. It's what do I think would be the character I gave it. For if you got tech guys or hiking guys, that could be a tech guy or a legal guy or I don't know. Who are those guys that do the legal work? Paralegal, behind the scenes. Or it could be the hiking guide, or the type of guy who's the TV actor, What kind of business is this? What kind of chatbot personage would you have? So we try to put in, different ethnicities and styles and some ages. Some of the guys down here are older. Like that guy right there is older. Even this guy up here, he's, bordering on older. Older for sure, different guys, right? We can add a lot more of these. So my Mindy would be whoever I decided to select for my Mindy, right? It's whatever I think, okay? Now, it looks a little fuzzy here, but not in here because, it's so small, right? So, primary color. I can match it to my website. If I can grab the color off my website, so much the better. That is 255 163.0. So 255 163.0. Okay, I matched that color. My secondary color, I'm not really sure what I should get off the site. There's not really a secondary color except for whatever the font is, So let me see. 31, 36, 46. Okay, if I just want to be, anal about it, 31, 36, 46. Okay, there. I matched the primary color and the secondary color the way I want. Got it? So, hit next. And guess what? We are basically done. We're to the point of the widget. Now, by the way, there are caching items. It will cache the conversation it's been having with you before, and it will cache the settings. You might need to do a hard refresh like Control-Shift-R to get it to update the settings so far, and like that. See? Now it's the right color. It's the right font size and font family, right? And so there you go. And that's the whole point, okay? So I might be able to say, hi, what kinds of plastic cards do you carry? I might just ask it something basic like that. And it'll make me wait a little bit and then give me an answer, right? But there you go. This is the coolness of my bot, right? And I'm able to put it on the website and let it do 99% of the visitor interaction for me, so that I can rely on it to help seal the deals without me having to spend an arm and a leg on it, right? But it's helpful, right? It's better than looking through a knowledge base, trying to search for keywords. It's better than, and of course it's going to happen to me that way during, during this breakdown. There we go. But at the same time, there are many times you get that message. Remember when I said if somebody's spamming, it just does that. It doesn't count against your words, right? So if it thinks, oh, you know why? Because I keep asking it that question. Because I take the bot off, put it back up as I've been testing it. I've asked it that question a few times now. You know what what that means in the back end? That it's like spam. It's like getting the same message from somebody who's just automating messages through live chatbots. So when I did it again, I guess it went ahead and answered just in case. Hey again, looks like you're really keen on exploring our plastic card options. Oh yeah, it says hey again. That's what happened there. Okay, just to recap and keep things fresh. Yeah, she's recapping and she knows me. Even though I just billed her, it's remembering from my IP address the conversations we had before. Okay, and that's good, by the way. It'll keep the chat history for up to 7 days. So if you come back and ask it more stuff, it will remember the chat. It will go back through it again instantly and remember who you are and what you've talked about. And therefore, the conversation keeps being smart. You don't have to ask it for the same stuff you asked it for before. It's not like it forgot what you were talking about. Gift cards, perfect for treats and incentives. Business cards, durable and slick for a professional touch. Loyalty cards, keep those customers coming back for more. Hotel key cards, custom designs for a memorable stay. Promotional cards, get the word out there in style. Membership cards, exclusive fields for your members. Big point to make here. It sees the different kinds of cards, but these are not direct quotes at all. It read each page about each thing and summarized based on what I asked. It read all about that on the URLs and summarized. Okay? Each type is designed with a specific function in mind, from making that first business impression to ensuring your hotel guests have a seamless experience. Got a particular project in mind? I'm all ears and ready to help you pick the perfect card. And then just the rainbow of possibilities, right? Just being nice, being jovial and helpful at the same time. A little bit of light entertainment. Keep the conversation fresh, right? Not best for a funeral parlor, but best for our purposes here. For a lot of things, it could be for about anything. Plumbers, roofers and stuff, dentists. I mean, you can do this with most things. MLM programs, you can train on your entire MLM program and they can be the perfect recruiter off your site, right? Or at least recruiting assistant. All right, so cool. I like Mindy. I trained her well. I gave her everything I wanted. The only reality check is I would do this and I would do that. And can I now? Yes. You know why? Because I don't need to wait. It's going to learn all of the web pages over the next while, like 2 a minute. But I don't have to wait. It will just get smarter and smarter as it goes. I'm going to grab the widget. By hitting this copy button, it'll copy this whole widget for me. BAP. It's copied. Okay? I'm going to go over to the website. And let me just make sure I'm still logged in. I haven't been here in a while. And I'm going to paste it, script code at the page bottom, right? Like the bottom of the page code. Boom. Okay? And there you go. I don't need all this extra stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Okay? And update. Okay? Now, it's going to go through and start updating my web pages for me because this happens to be in HTML websites of a T to H. So it's got this generate HTML button to produce the pages onto the front end. All right, but as it does that, here's going to be the fun part. Let me get that picker gone. Okay, ready? We're on the front page. Let me refresh it. Sure enough, I got my bot. It's matching the color scheme. I might need to change the colors. But look, if I just wait, I mean, I didn't click it, right? But I had a setting for it to pop up after a certain number of seconds, didn't I? Or did I not lock that in right? Oh, I didn't, did I? Once in a while. Okay, let's do this again real quick. Just make it stick, right? I'm going to make this something like, I don't know, Comic Sans, just so that we can see that's actually happening. Okay. Next. Okay. But I do not need to recopy the widget. I mean, it's already okay. So just the fact that I put the widget there once, any adjustments I make in the back end will automatically affect the widget in the front end. All right, so check this out. Here I got my chatbot. By the way, if you close it and refresh, it will not open on the auto timer for the same reason that it won't open when you go from page to page to page. You don't want it to annoy people. So if somebody closes it, it stays closed. But say it's open from the first time. Let's say I just now visited a page of the website. It could be the home page or any inner page. This thing will pop up after the number of seconds I told it to pop up for, right? So if I'm on an inner page and I refresh it, right? Then, boom, there it is. So I told it like 4 seconds, so it took like 4 seconds. If I felt like I wanted it to wait longer, I could have it wait longer. And don't forget to hit next. But I don't need to copy the chat widget over again. It's already fine. So it'll just know to wait longer, okay? And there you have it. This thing is available on every single page or caching. I may have to actually hard refresh because, I'm on my computer and caching has effects. But for the rest of the world, it'll take 8 seconds. Oh, I got to actually recreate the pages again in order for it to be updated in the coding. Got it. No problem. Anyway, yeah. Having said that, for everybody else, it'll be the right number of seconds. So check that out. It's the Comic Sans. It's the right font size. It's really kind and cool. Explains everything. I can go ahead and keep answering. Who should I call? Or where can I go for a quote? Boom, right? And I just ask and it'll answer. And again, I can truly control it in the back end. If it does anything I don't like or something I want it to do better, just improve your instructions, right? If it didn't understand something, add it. Create a new file, similar to this anyway or whatever, but for your website and just upload it, right? And if you want to change anything about the appearance or make it a different person or something like that, you can do it. And yeah, once you paste the widget on the site, it's that widget. So it's good to go, right? Sure, it gave me clickable links for the quotes. One quote for cards, another quote for printers, right? It told me who to call. It even told me who to email, okay? For getting a quote, super easy peasy. You can reach out via email here or give a call to here. The team is super responsive and ready to assist with any questions or quotes you need for your plastic card project. If you're more of a click and submit kind of person, we've got online forms too. For card quotes, just head over to the Smooth Online form, get a card quote, and it gives you the link. And if you're looking for printer quotes, we've got you covered with a special form for that as well. Get a printer quote, there's the link. Whatever route you choose, we're here to make the process as smooth as butter. I like it. I like the way my chatbot interacts with people. I think it's fun and engaging, not too anything. I think it's awesome. Okay, there you have it. That's the whole thing. If you want to rush over and get yourself set up on a chatbot, go to chatforme.ai, right? Not .com.ai. Chat for me with the number 4, chatforme.ai. And you can go ahead and set yourself up, right? Sign up, get 3,500 free credits, right? Just and choose a package that allows you to create more than one chatbot. If you have more than one website and you just want to see what different chatbots are like on each website, right? Make one for each website that's conforming to each website. Cheap, like 25 cents per 8-hour shift is the actual cost of each of your chatbots, all right? And then like 25 cents a conversation, a live conversation. And again, if that sounds expensive, realize it's not. If you didn't have the chatbot, then no one's going to chat with it, so you're not going to get more sales. If you do have a chatbot, anyone who doesn't want to chat with it won't, so you won't spend money. Anyone who wants to chat with it, thank God you had it, because they want to chat with it. And that conversation can lead to a sale, okay? So it's your best friend, okay? And it never forgets what you teach it. And it doesn't need holidays or weekends. It can work with multiple people at the same time in their language of choice. All right? That's cool.